those things of God. Look at verse 21. I got to move on. For since in the wisdom of God, the world through wisdom did not know God, man's puny wisdom, even the best that he has to offer, cannot come to know God in any manner. Excuse me, because it's unspiritual, it's still in darkness. That's not to say we don't have some smart people who aren't Christians. I'm not saying that, okay? But how many of you know there's a difference in knowledge and wisdom? There's a vast difference in knowing something and having knowledge and having wisdom to put that knowledge to use. Listen, I could go to a class today and sit in a class and they tell you how to fly an airplane. But I'm not going to know how to apply that knowledge without some wisdom and some first-hand experience and some training in that cockpit. Look here, you can read a book all you want to. You know as well as I do. Look at the business world. The business of hospice that I'm in, or any kind of business that you can think of, probably in most cases, you have a lot of folks in the higher ups who can sit behind a desk and put things on paper and make it look real good. They can make it look real good until you get out in the field and try to work with it. It's a whole horse of a different color then. Why? Because they haven't been in the field. They drew everything on paper. It looks real good on paper. I can make a lot of things look good on paper. I can make me look good on paper, probably. I can make a lot of things look good on paper. But it's when you actually have to put it where the rubber meets the road and apply it to what you're doing. Amen? And so, man's wisdom without God. You know, we got smart people. There's no doubt about it. We got smart people who are not Christians. They're smart as far as the mechanics of things and how to do things, how to create things like that. But there's not a lot of wisdom. Some of the smartest people are some of the dumbest people when it comes to wisdom. Amen? So, he goes on to say, it pleased God through the foolishness of the message preached to save those who believe. So the wisdom of God goes beyond the highest point of human wisdom. It goes beyond all that. God's ways are not our ways. God's thoughts are not our thoughts. They're higher than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways. And so, human philosophies would never have thought of the Christian gospel of Jesus Christ. They would have never thought of salvation through Jesus Christ. Human philosophy would never have done that. Human philosophy would have had him, if they had him coming at all, they would have had him coming as a king in royalty. He'd have been born in the palace. He'd have been born with the best of everything at his fingertips. That would have been human philosophy. Human philosophy can't comprehend a babe being born in a cattle stall and being laid in a feed trough. They can't comprehend that. They can't comprehend him growing up doing the hard work of a carpenter, being raised as a carpenter's son, or actually stepson, being raised as a carpenter's boy, being raised to do that kind of hard work and to be raised. And carpenters that they didn't make a lot of money. They were poor. They were poor people. They couldn't comprehend. The world's comprehension, the world's logic could not comprehend that. John said in the first chapter of the Gospel of John, he said that the world. Well, let me flip over here. I don't want to misquote it. Let's flip over here a minute. John chapter 1. You can turn if you want to, or just jot it down. He says, he came. Oh, no, verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, or through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right or the power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name. But, I might have got ahead of myself here. Where's the verse I'm looking for? Y'all know the verse I'm looking for. Oh, I jumped too far ahead. Verse 5, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. The darkness did not. The light shines in the darkness. The darkness